Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weekly Reroll, the show where we recap the things that have been happening in D&D shows on Twitch. Now, we've had a long break from the last time we did this, and even before that, there was a long break. So I'm kind of trying to get the Weekly Reroll back into a position where I feel comfortable doing it every week and comfortable knowing the material every week. So I made a couple executive decisions here. One, I'm going to cut out all the other shows. I'm going to cut out covering all the shows that I am not actually participating in. And two, that is going to include the Roleplay Vigil, which I stepped down from a couple days ago, but I was technically in the last episode, so we're not going to cover that either. So we're just going to do Roleplay Solemn, Honorbound, Dicing with Death, and Misclicks. And when it comes around, the semi-announced show whose working title is End of Days, but we might change the name. We'll see how it goes. So, without further ado, let us hop into Roleplay Solemn. Roleplay Solemn is the D&D show, the first D&D show, really. It's the one with ItMeJP on his channel, Jeff, JP, Jen, and Ryan. Ryuzilla Ryan. Too many Ryans these days. Last we left the party off. Oh, and I should also say we're just recovering we're just covering the last week. We're not going to go and cover everything. The last week in Roleplay Solemn, what did we do? Well, the party has gotten together with Leia, the new wizard that has switched over from Verasi, and is traveling with the party. They left their town and kind of moved around a little bit, trying to make their way south so that they can then head east. So they can, journey far and get back to where they want to go. But they ran into a problem. They heard some weird noises upstairs, ran upstairs to at the inn that they were in this God knows what town, and they saw Carla, knife in her belly, slumped over, and a woman turn and face the party. Fight ensues. The woman, Jeff and Ryan go in to surround her. Jen enlarges Jeff, so he's like this massive guy, like hulking, leaning over, trying to fight indoors. And after trading a couple of blows, she just disappears. Like, not even a flash of smoke, not a flash of light. She's just gone. Like, there 1 minute, gone the next, sort of thing. The party starts scrambling around looking for her, and then she reappears, this time on the other side of the room, and starts attacking again. The party wounds her a few more times, and she disappears again. They start looking for her, and then all of a sudden there's this weird zapping noise and kind of an acidic smell to the air. So the party evacuates the room, but it's too late. The innkeeper is there with the bouncer, because that was only like 2 rounds of combat. And the party's like, hey, someone just attacked us. Our friend is murdered. The innkeeper's like, right, and where's the murderer? The guy's like, she just disappeared. She like teleported. I don't know what the fuck. And the innkeeper's like, right, I'm going to go get the police. We're going to take care of this. The party is left with the big bouncer, who is he's just making them not move. JP comes up behind him because he had already left out the front door, whacks him in the back of the knee. Bouncer goes down on one knee. Ryan runs him through with a sword, and he dies. Not very exciting. He wasn't very difficult, but the party's just killed an innocent bouncer in an inn. So they immediately flee, hop on their horses, and start to take off. As they're taking off, the innkeeper arrives with a couple of town guards to, set things right, and they give chase, but they're all on foot and the party's on horseback. So the party bolts out towards the front gate, persuades the guards to open the gate even though it's nighttime and whatnot, and the party is off into the out into the wilderness, into the woods actually at night. And that's where we left the Roleplay Solemn group. It was also revealed that this mysterious woman attacking them is Lady Felicity, one of the 4 lords of Verasi. After Oris's death, she is one of the 4 people in charge of the armies and forces that Verasi controls. So she's found the baby, she's found and killed Carla, and the party is on their own and has no idea how to take care of a baby. So we will see you guys next Sunday for more Dungeons & Dragons Babysitting Simulator 2014. So, done with Solemn, let's move on to Dicing with Death. Again, we're just going to cover the last episode that happened in Dicing with Death, and the last episode was kind of a short one. After escaping from the castle, after escaping from Seagate Castle with the Queen's jewels and supplies and magic mirror and stuff, our hero Qualnir hops on the boat with the lovely Denna and she helps them try and escape. They get tracked down by one of the royal fleet. Well, I guess they're not royal fleet because they're not. They're dukes. They're not. After getting chased down by one of the duke's ships, it's becoming very clear that they're just going to catch Denna's ship, the icebreaker, and we're all going to be sunk. So Qualnir, hops on a little skiff, floats back to the big ship, tries to climb in through the window that's in the back of the ship, but of course, like, the captain's already in his quarters, so he just comes down and looks at Qualnir climbing up this rope. It's like, what the hell? Both people are kind of surprised. Qualnir makes it inside. A small fight almost ensues, but it's given up very quickly. Qualnir gets taken to the brig, the prison on board the ship, where he then escapes, sets fire to the cargo hold, which is filled with barrels of black powder, gunpowder, and then makes his escape out to the front. He lets everyone know what's going on, so no one's trying to capture Qualnir. Everyone's trying to save the ship from exploding. Ship eventually explodes while Qualnir gets away on a little skiff, or a little rowboat with a couple of people to row him. He gets back to Denna's ship and then leaves the two people in their boat to survive on the sea or not. And that's how we escaped that. So Qualnir is on his way to a new town whose name I've forgotten. Ryan told me once or twice. I've completely forgotten at this point, but we're on our way there. The next episode of Dicing with Death should be this week. I think Ryan and I are going to try and aim for Wednesday, but I got to talk to him about his scheduling stuff, so soon that can actually go down. So that is Dicing with Death. Next on the docket, we have Honorbound, Redemption of the New Guard. Again, we're just covering this last episode, even though we're only 2 episodes in. But this is the new 5th edition campaign that we're running, and since the real 5th edition books aren't released, we're using the starter adventure kit that has been released. So, if you're playing through the 5th edition starter kit, you're playing the same campaign we are. We were walking around town, Phandalin, trying to gather some information about where Cragmaw Keep would be, or where the Red Brands would be, and trying to figure out what's going on. So we talked to this guy in an orchard, we talked to my aunt, and then we start making, my aunt's son, my nephew, lets us know that he's seen some of these weird Red Brand guys disappear into this, like, hidey hole up by the old abandoned manor. And so we have him take us there. On the way there, we get ambushed. Well, not ambushed, but attacked by a bunch of people standing around this, God, I want to call it the Stonehill Tavern or something like that. Or Stone Giants Tavern. Something about stones. And it was like either a tavern or an inn. We walk past them. They give us some shit. We give them some shit. They spot me as I try and, like, sneak around to disappear and attack them from behind or something. They spot me, and a fight ensues. We take him out pretty handily. The one surviving guy, Ryan, ceremoniously executes in the town square. Pops his head off. And, well, he was unconscious, by the way. He didn't even have a chance to defend himself. So then the party follows my nephew to the tunnels below the manor on the... God, I forget the name of the manor. But there's a manor on the hill. We go down to the tunnels, kind of look around, fight some Red Brands, fight this weird monster guy. Don't end up killing him. We end up negotiating with him and tell him that, okay, we will, feed you the dead bodies of the people we kill if you will then, give us this information about X, Y, and Z. So that's where we leave him. Well, he says, all right, that's cool, on board, you don't have to fight me, I'll help you out. Here's where the people are. The guy that you're looking for in charge of the Red Brands, his name is Glassstaff. He's over here. There's a couple of bugbears there, and there's some other, Red Bands around as well. Be careful. So we sneak into Glassstaff's office, find him, fight him, kill him very, very quickly, because it's just Glassstaff against the 4 of us, and we surprise him. And then his bugbear reinforcements show up, almost wipe the party. I go down. I go almost to dead down. If I wasn't a halfling, I would be dead. What's his name? Justin goes down, comes back up. I come back up, I go down. I come back up, I go down again. Ryan manages to hold the front line, and we eventually finish off the bugbears, feed the bugbears to what's his name, kill Glassstaff. Did we finish off Glassstaff? I don't know if we actually finished off Glassstaff. Holy shit. Well, we found some information. The other Red Brands, after seeing us kill Glassstaff and the Bugbearers, disappeared. They didn't bother fighting. We find out more information about who's running the Red Brands and how it's connected to the goblins that took our friend at Cragmaw Keep. And we find out the location of Cragmaw Keep, and it's up to us. Well, next episode we have to figure out what we're gonna do next. Sorry about my coughing. But that is it for Honorbound, which, again, 5th edition is great. Chucky's the DM. Ryan is a player. Justin's a player. I'm a player. On to Misclicks. Season 3, Episode 7, Misclicks Demigod Edition. Where did we leave off? Let's see. We did the whole thing with Parn and we did the Wild Goose Chase. To be honest, we haven't actually done Misclicks in like a week or two, and I don't actually remember where we are with Misclicks at all. This is one of the things I'm trying to avoid, but I should be able to remember Misclicks, but I don't. Anyway, they're demigods running around helping everyone out. They've met a bard named Samal who sings stories about them. They met a crazy woman who chases geese. They met... oh, I know where they are. They were in the woods. This I figured it all out. We're good. They were in the forest to the south of where they started and had just finished off the leader of the bandit camp down there. And the party had rescued this old gnome who was around. He was like, oh, I'll help you out with all these sorts of things, but first you got to get me home, and I have none of my spells or any of my items, and trust me, I'm a super powerful wizard. You just got to get me home, and I'll help you out. And so they're escorting him through the forest, trying to get him back to his house. The party got ambushed. Not really ambushed, but they made their way through some dangers, and then these weird people showed up. This weird guy showed up, like, asking for water. He was injured, it looked like, or hurt. The party goes to help him. His buddies come out of the woodwork, except his buddies are these weird rat people, like half rats, half men. And a fight ensues. And it looks like none of these people are being hurt by any weapons whatsoever. They're not being hurt by iron. They're not being hurt by the theoretical magical items they've got on hand. Eventually the party figures out that they're were-rats when they start transforming between like Ratman form and rat form. And the party's like, oh, I think we can do this. And so they wind up, I think Adia, Anna Prosser's character, winds up grabbing 2 silver coins and just shoving it through the person's eyes into its brain. Killed one of them that way. The other one of them died. Didn't choke to death on Silver, but oh no, they literally decapitated someone. I think that's how it went down. There's some massive critical that did like a ton of damage and just like literally cut the person's head off, and the head didn't even have time to like reattach or regrow or anything. So yeah. And I think the third one escaped into the woods. The party still has their loot, which the rat men were after, the were-rats were after, and is taking the old kindly gnome back to his house still. And that's where Misclicks leaves off. So this has been our weekly reroll for this week, and I aim to keep doing weekly reroll every week from here on out. Again, we're just going to cover the shows that I'm actually in, so I know what happens, and there's none of this, well, someone said this happened and that happened. No, we're just going to cover the shows that I do. It makes it a lot easier on me, and it makes me less panicked and worried about being able to do it right. So, we will see you guys in a bit. If you stick around, we've got cartography coming up, and we're going to do some new cartography areas. And if you stick around after that, we've got general streaming, and I think we're going to do Misclicks tomorrow. I think we're going to try for Dicing with Death on Wednesday. We're going to have Honorbound on Sunday, and we're going to have Solemn on Sunday as well. So, see you guys later. Good luck, have fun, and bye-bye.